Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Rao. I'm coming here this afternoon to talk about something pretty important, pretty deep too. Kind of really applies to our modern generation where we are having a lot of external knowledge about scientific knowledge, understanding through learning, analytics, and the external world, right? We can study, we can understand weather, we can manipulate weather, and all that. All this kind of one pillar of understanding is about survival, living well in life, and also living comfortably and understanding elements and then manipulating them and then putting to our advantage, right? So that's all we are doing with lots of things that we do through science and technology. That's all fine, you know. But then when something happens in life, something significant, like we lose somebody, or we have a terminal illness, or we kind of have a lot of natural calamities and all that. We don't seem to have the equanimity to face it or be peaceful or bring resilience from inside so that we can handle the life situations better. So I thought I will give you my piece of understanding about this and how I evolved in my life and how understanding these two pillars and making them separate and understanding how to excel in both of them kind of even the attempt has given inner resilience, inner peace, and inner equanimity. So I could study science and become a doctor and learn all the modern uh, know-how about health and wellness and treat people who are coming to me with various complaints, starting from cough and colds to pneumonia to diabetes to hypertension to heart disease, thyroid, whatever, right? All the modern science people. But just because I'm a skilled doctor, I know a lot about body and the mind also. It is not guaranteed that as a human being, I'll be resilient when life comes and kind of wakes me up or touches me or tells me this is life. All things don't work according to this, and you get to uh, have a quiet mind and then face these things. That I don't find in the modern. On the other hand, modern data, modern senses, indulgence, and modern way of looking everything through thought did not result any solutions for the fundamental problems of life, like a disease, old age, or just be quiet and calm in the middle of storm of anything that can happen, right? Natural calamities to personal tragedies, relationship problems, all those things are there. So fundamentally, I can now divide these two understandings into two. One is called Vignana. This is a Sanskrit word that was used way back to describe the external world and the knowledge about it. Like they have Ayurveda, they have yoga, they have different kind of knowledge about disease and cure and all that. Right? So those doctors also they had scientific knowledge, understanding through learning, analysis, and the external world, studying it, understanding. That is they call Vignana, and that is shows us how to survive, right? Whereas there's another one which is called Gnana, which is it's like you get to experience things and develop some wisdom from it. That is a inner experiential wisdom. You get it. Suppose you have wondered about something, you have questioned, and you have got deep into that matter, and then really experienced the in and outs of that, and that in, inner experience gives you wisdom, right? So you also learn what is stillness, how to keep my mind calm by observing the mind and not really following whatever it tells you, and realizing what is the awareness, who is aware of these thoughts and feelings, understanding that awareness which is behind all, and understanding that is our real essence, gives a peace and resilience in the mind. Their mind is not going all over creating anxiety, depression, whatever. And also, it is being equanimous. Uh, you see the things come and go, but you are always stable. That is gnana. That I found in the ancient wisdom. Okay, so basically, what I have been doing for years, I'm telling you in a nutshell. you know, I'm sure people know human beings are feeling, thinking, and experiencing beings, right? So we are not just like animals, just hunger and sleep and then reproduce and go to death. No, we are not like that. We are much more than that. And as human beings, we have inner life. And that inner life, once you understand, out of that, your inner essence, your inner resilience comes out, and then you can make a living, you can live well, but you are not, uh, confined to that only. You see what I mean? So, uh, as we see the present generation youth or anybody, what they are doing mostly is they are going after education that can give them some degree or some qualification, or you don't have to even have qualification. You learn about some IT tools or AI tools, and then you can make a living now. Okay, so that you sell something that you have as a service or a skill or as a job, so that you get money to really survive in this world, and then give money to the people who are dependent on you, all that making a living, right? But that's not enough for a human being. Human being wants to know what is the world, what is made of, where is it going, what is human life is, what is real wellness is, what is disease is, what is death is, how is my mind can be quiet and calm in the middle of the storms, that I do have all that, that kind of questioning, and from the questioning, really going deep into your own inner recesses and see how you are, and then changing that to better, where you have the inner resilience, you have the capacity to face the storms in your life. Like you are married or you are divorced, and then you lose your spouse or your children, or your relatives, or you have natural calamities, and then all you earned for is gone. So those people who are inner resilient, they kind of survive these kind of things, because they are not good to let what happened to them overwhelm them. They may learn from it, but they dig deep and then say, I'm going to face this, that inner resilience. There is a very good ways in ancient wisdom to do that. Because what they said was, have a nice living, but should be nice, simple life outwardly. But inwardly, I want to sit down and reflect and deeply understand what is what. And then from that understanding, I come out and then do things. Okay. So it's kind of a simple outward life and rich inward life, right? So that is a big question. This is a big topic to I understand. So you don't have to accept anything. What is important is reflect on. Yeah, my friend Melissa is coming. It's good. I'm able to talk to somebody. That's good. Hi, Melissa.
Dr. Al, how are you?
I am good.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I love this topic. Oh my goodness, I was just talking to someone about this earlier today, and I didn't say it as eloquently as you did with the inner resilience, but I was sharing with them as I was walking my dogs this morning and walking up a really steep incline.
Yeah.
Like, just had that mantra, I can do hard things, come into my mind. And, you
Yeah.
were talking about the inner resilience. And one of the things that I've learned along the
Yeah.
trip I've been on is I seem to like when things are challenging, Doctor.
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself, and whether
Yeah.
that's physically, intellectually, or, yeah, I think that that's not something that I realized about
Yeah.
myself before, but yeah, because I think that I do have that inner
Yeah.
resilience that you were speaking of. Because I mean, I've shared
Yeah.
parts of my journey with you, and I think that that's something that I can safely
Yeah.
say about myself is that I do have that inner resilience, and I
Yeah.
think that that is
It's
so
it's
very
it's
crucial.
it's like this, Melissa. Suppose I say live in the present. What I'm meaning is live in the present moment with the lessons you have learned in the past, also what you are going to do in the future. That's all okay, but get the most out of the present. Live here and now. You know that people are not able to do because they are always driven by some memories into the past or some kind of imagination into the future. They are necessarily not wrong, but they are not yet here. What is here, you have to live very well. You are walking up the with the dogs, then you are focusing on what you are doing. You are enjoying the dogs and their behavior, and so you are attending to their needs and everything, right? So that is living in the present moment. And especially when the life goes wrong, we say we have to have character to face it and all. I'm not talking about character, I'm talking about this understanding that will come through automatically as character, as values, as whatever, right? But then that inner resilience is where you're going to face whatever it is as it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you know, a new school year is starting very soon for
Yeah.
me, and I have a new position this year, and I'm going to be working with a grade that I haven't worked with
Mhm.
in a long time. But you know what? I do know that I have the ability to tackle this challenge. Just
Yeah,
like I
you
was
do.
saying before,
Yeah.
not only am I going to be able to do it, but I will be thriving while I'm doing it because
Thank
I
you.
love kids, and it's going to be a great year. And it's,
Yeah.
they know that I want to share my love with them because
Yeah.
kids can pick up on stuff like that. So
No,
I
no,
think it's
this is
going to
this
be
is very important in modern education because we are only training them to make a living, which is okay. But beyond that, if they have something really strong thing happen to them, they go to pieces, and then a lot of adults go to addictions and all that to get out of that. But what I'm saying is, no, you don't have to. You're facing that and getting the strength from it, and then really thrive from it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But
absolutely.
but the inner resilience is, I found a lot of ways in the ancient wisdom. So I bring that to present living. I'm not living in the past, but I'm learning the lessons and bringing the lessons to the present moment.
Well, I hope to be able to teach the students more than just what they need to survive, but more
Yeah, I'm
importantly
going
to know
to.
themselves and what they do have that inner resilience
Yeah,
to, and telling them you guys can do hard things. I
yeah,
think that's a great mantra.
yeah. They can, and also they can develop strength from it, and then they can give it to the life to whoever they are living with. So instead of other people are tempting them with weaker things, we are giving them like a inner capacity to deal with life's situations. It's kind of life lessons, but they put it all together into one knowledge body. They call that gnana. Okay, whereas you can come back, Melissa. Whereas scientific knowledge, analysis, all these things which I'm into AI now, artificial intelligence. So that's going to change very fundamentally what we're going to deal with outward world. So that also we have to learn. But that artificial intelligence is not going to give you mental peace or satisfaction with life or happiness and joy in things, so all this addiction to phones and social media and all this probably is much more, because everything is going to be maybe 10 20 times more, so that's why I always want people to take some time, reflect on life, keep discovering your own inner stillness, your inner calmness, and then come out and perform in a equanimous way, in a way that is everything will be really attached to your inner compass, inner core where you are coming from. Okay, so I'm glad Melissa is a teacher, and she is going to convey this joyous experience of human life with the strength. If you are just talking about it, nothing is going to happen. If the talk reflects it's in your own inner core and leads you to that inner compass, not because your intellectual prowess, but because of your observational capacity, your capacity to be quiet and still. And from that, you will be able to perform much better. At least that's my experience. So I'm going to write a book on this because this is so important, because we are in a knowledge era. We are in all the time learning things, scientific analysis, which is not bad, but it is only about outward things, right? It is about things that are really give us good life, and then maybe give us some comforts, but that could be creature comforts that could help, that could also deplete our energy and our health too. So understand that two understandings. I'm talking about. I'm titled this as two pillars of understanding of life. One is Sanskrit words gnana. Another one is vignana. Gnana is about your inner experiential wisdom, your understanding, not just from words, from everything, but for your own stillness, observing the mind and the thoughts, and realizing the awareness which is observing behind the thoughts. So you are that eternal awareness is all choicelessly it is there. If you don't discover it, if you don't function in the awareness, then you are just a neurotic. It doesn't matter how excellent you are with your analysis, with your data and all of that, but still you are in the circles of the thought and mind only. That essentially wants itself out. That's why there is so much neurotic behavior, so much anxiety behavior, so much depression, so much lack of peace, so much loneliness. All the modern ails are because you're not able to understand. You are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, they happen to you. Who is it happening to? That is aware. That is the gnana, inner knowledge, inner awareness. And from that, everything goes. It's the experiential knowledge. You cannot get it from somebody else saying that. You got to go into inward yourself and find it. Okay? That's one way of understanding. The second one is Vignana, where all the external things are studied, weather is studied, and lifestyles are studied. All that we go, how to survive better, how to survive with comforts and all that. But they don't seem to give you this inner resilience. That's what my experience in life is. I've seen people who are very accomplished outwardly, but they cannot take anything comes. There's one author who came to me recently, and he kind of wrote about stuff. But when it came to his own life, he could not handle them with equanimity. He was really suffering a lot. There is no need for that. That's what the ancients showed us. You can live the life and take life as it is, as it comes to you. And in the times of real storms, real commotion in your life, in your personal life, in your family life, in your economic life, in your livelihood, whatever, all those are disturbed. How calm, quiet can you be? Not being numb, but being intelligently quiet. Because all these terms that we allow our mind to go through, they come and go. Once you understand that, you will be stable in realizing that. There was a term for that. It's called sthita pragnata. The one who is stabilized in wisdom will not be crying outward unnecessarily. So think about this. This is a good topic to think about it, and I'll be speaking on this for a while. So you can see my articles and my book on this too. Okay. So anybody has any other comments or anything you want to say? This is a big topic, but it cannot be given to you in one afternoon or anything. It is depends upon how much you question life, not from your colloquial language, not from your veracity, not from your books and all that, from your own inner experience, not according to what is conventional out there, but within your own thing. What do you see? Human emotions. What do you um, experience from that? How attached you are, non-attached you are. All those things come into play. So it's a big, big, big topic. But the essence of it is, if you take the ancients, they lived rather yeah, stable in their reactions. They lived with a calm mind. They have this capacity to deal with tremendous tragedies, very equanimous in their mind. And their health also is much better because of that. And they were able to uh, function according to the natural cycles. And so they had a long life, but the life was mostly in joy and happiness and able to deal with problems without collapsing when the problems hit us. Whereas modern, we have all sorts of things outward, but inwardly, many people are lonely, many people are fearful, anxious, depressed, and a lot of mental health problems, a lot of addiction to outward agents to pacify them. If you look at many people, they may have everything in life, the money, buildings, facilities, and cars, and everything. But they don't have the inner quietness, inner peace, inner joy, which is possible, inner happiness also. Once you have that, you can come out to the life and face the challenges with much more equanimity. Okay. Does this make any sense? Anybody else beyond Melissa? I would like to see whether how many people reflect on topics like this, or you are only reflect on topics that give you something out of it, money, name, or recognition, or whatever, but not about your inner. You kind of numb it and go away from it, then you will never be able to realize that capacity. As a human being, you have that intelligence, you have that capacity to be what they said, Achyadika Dukkha Nivrutti. That means extreme sorrow you will transcend because of this. And Paramananda Prapti. That means extreme blissful happiness is possible for a human being who takes a journey inward towards his own inner essence. So I'm going to write a book on this because this is a very big topic and it has to be seen in several factors. First of all, examining the world as it is, why there is so much suffering in the world, why there is so much mental illness in the world, why there is so little capacity to deal with tough questions, tough situations that come in our own life. How much our families know about this, how much our children and young people are able to take this so that they can withstand uh, things like AI. I talked one time about how anxious the time is going to be for youngsters, how how uncertain they're going to be, how difficult for them to handle this change. On the other hand, if they develop a perspective of change is natural, change is inevitable, change is only one thing that always happens, and we have to be ready for that, especially if we know about it. Okay, so I am kind of into the artificial intelligence. Not only I want to learn the technology, but also I want to see what is this technology has an effect on our brain, on our mind, on our inner self. How are they going to protect your attention? How are you going to use this for the betterment of people rather than some silly things that you want for yourself? Okay, so have the Vignana of scientific knowledge, but pay attention to Gnana where they show you inner peace and resilience and equanimity. Okay, that is more valuable, I think. You can then live in the present with what you want to do and do it very well. And also, don't go for the crutches because you feel loneliness, you feel anxiety, you feel unwell, you have no strength within, and you're kind of fearful or crying for everything in life. Okay? All right. This is a short talk, but I kept it very short so that I can open this and several rooms down the line and then take a different aspects of it. Thank you.